Welcome to The Sample, a quick discussion of auditing concepts and terms that will help you do your work. Conducting an audit in accordance with auditing standards is no small feat, and I want to support you. We'll be referring to the GAO, IIA, and AICPA literature to bolster our conversations. Let's get started. In this episode, we answer the question, what goes in audit findings? Well, the IIA, the Institute of Internal Auditors, the GAO, Government Accountability Office in the Yellowbook, and the single audit requirements in the uniform guidance ask that you answer 5 basic questions for the reader. Maybe I should say 6 because there's 2 recommendations, as I will show you in a minute. The condition answers the question, what's going on here? What's the problem? The effect sells the finding and makes people care about what they're reading. The cause answers the question, why or how did this condition occur? The criteria refers to an authoritative document, like a law, regulation, contract, grant agreement, where it's clearly spelled out, we hope, that this condition is not acceptable. And then we have 2 recommendations, one that resolves the condition and one that resolves the cause, because we brought up 2 problems. Here's an example of a finding. It's not in full sentences, and I'm going to let you read that while I tell you something else. The cause is by far the hardest element to come up with and not be redundant with the condition. The effect is probably the second hardest. And each of these elements needs to be backed up with evidence, with a working paper. So that makes findings, relatively challenging to develop. Okay. You might want to add this also. You might want to quantify. I do recommend that you quantify. Usually that goes in the effect or condition statement. The purpose of that is to give the reader a sense of how big a deal this finding is. Like, is this a little deal? Or is this a big deal? Does it impact a lot of people? Does it involve a lot of money? If you're following the single audit requirements, you also need to include sampling information. This is a good idea for everybody. But it'd be nice for the reader to be able to, look at your work and say, well, what was the population? What was the size of your sample? What are the results? And if you did a statistical sample only, you can extract that to the population. And that wraps it up for another episode of The Sample. True to the nature of a sample, we didn't talk about everything, so you've probably got questions. Write to me at Leita@Yellowbook-CPE.com, and I'll do my best to fill in the blanks. Thanks for playing.